All right. So bringing our standards out, our mission statement. Our mission here is to create the greatest group of professional traders compiled in the world. We work tirelessly every day to improve our individual selves and push each other to get the most out of one another. With each individual's personal accountability, 100% effort, and consistent actions towards focusing on our controllables, we will each reach our full potential individually and as a family. I, Stefanos, pledge to be the best version of myself today, to do whatever it takes to be the greatest trader that I can be, and to be the most self-disciplined person that I know. I will do the things I have to do, regardless of how I feel, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. I will control what I can control and not worry about anything else. Remember, we don't over trade, we don't over risk. You don't need to catch a trade today, but we would like to. 1 to 2 trade ideas per day. Jesus, it's like early for me, I guess. Difficult to get through this, but 1 to 2 trade ideas per day. 3 if you see that perfect setup. Maybe you could get that today, being that it's Thursday. Also yesterday as well. But capital preservation over capital appreciation, aka risk management, is number 1. Keep your trading plan in front of you and read it before every single session. Make smart decisions. That's what you're focusing on. We are system oriented. Now, how much money can I make on this given trade? Have a sense of urgency today when it comes to your daily tasks, and make sure you're getting them done faster than usual, because you're always trying to outwork yourself from the previous day. Lastly, and most importantly, eliminate any excuses in your life and any victim mindset. Full accountability for your actions. All right. So getting into the economic calendar, as you know, we went over this yesterday, but we got the Bank of England interest rate coming out today, and then also the European interest rate, ECB, right? Then also unemployment claims are coming out later for 8:30 or 8:30 for the U.S. You have the ECB press conference as well, so Lagarde is going to be speaking, and that's basically your day. So we should have a lot of nice volume coming in. Okay, Lim, you were saying that you took that trade on gold. Okay. Makes sense. So if you want to break that down or send that into the group Trello, we'll take a look at it. But let's look at past interest rate hikes for Great Britain over here. So the Bank of England has been increasing rates all of last year. Obviously, 2022 was all about central banks increasing rates. And if you notice, if we could go back over here and look at the history of the Bank of England, let's say we'll look at the last 5. You're going to see that GJ kind of like, prices it in before the rate hike, and you see that tank as you're seeing right now, right? So prices starting to come down over here. We already created a top wick and passed below the previous wick on the daily over here and continue down. And then after that, sometimes you see a move after the rate comes out and sometimes you don't. But right now, let's go back and look at the last time interest rates have come out over here, December 15th. So if we go December 15th over here, which was a Thursday as well. Oh no, we're on the daily. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, we're just going to break everything down, make sure that I kept some of the levels here just so that we could get through it pretty quick. But looking at our most recent support and resistance, we obviously broke through that support yesterday, right? Holding that support, we ended up closing below, retesting, holding a solid resistance, and now we're continuing down. I do like this close right here on the 4-hour. What's up, Serge?
Morning, guys.
Morning, buddy. Hope you're having a good morning so far.
Yeah, just come back from the gym.
There you go. Love it. Love to hear that. Yeah, I just finished my workout myself. Okay, so anyway, we were kind of sitting in this range right here, right? And as you see, this candle ends up creating the low. We pull back, strong bearish candle close, holding that resistance, but then we didn't have enough volume to push us through this area quite yet, right? We ended up getting this bullish candle close, price was ranging in here. Then you get this top wick rejection, and then it also passed below the previous candle and closed a strong bearish. This candle created the top wick, passed below the previous candle over here, and now it is starting to push through that level, and this is obviously the support we've been marking off all week long so far, right? Once we break this support over here, we should be able to mirror this move and continue down into 157,700, right? So looking at the 1 hour now, 1 hour, you ended up getting that strong close below, which is great, right? Nice, strong bearish candle. You also have this level as your next distance or your next target for price to end up reaching over here. So right now, if you were to sell, you'd probably be selling at the low over here. So what you want to do is wait for some kind of a pullback. But right now, this is that move that I was talking about where you start to get that tank during London before the interest rates end up coming out. So if you look at the 30-minute over here, 30-minute is just, continuing down over here, and you'd be selling the low down here, right? So right now, honestly, this whole move would have probably been difficult to catch unless you went down to the lower time frames. Because what you did have here was a close below that support, which you haven't had in the past here, right? But no bottom wick, or barely a bottom wick. So once this candle ended up forming, it created a top wick real quick and then continued down. Now you could have anticipated this based on what I'm about to show you with the last previous rate hikes, but you could have anticipated this on the lower time frames and been able to possibly catch it, right? So maybe you would have to take it on the 15-minute right here, where let me move you guys over here. After this candle closed below, this would have been risky because it's on the 15-minute and this candle didn't have a bottom wick to form. So we could have pulled back at any point. But again, knowing the history of before interest rates come out and you normally get this nice push beforehand, you could have maybe anticipated this and at least grabbed this 1-to-1, right? At least grab like 15 pips right here and then close 90%, stop loss at break even. And then during the rate hike, maybe you could catch the volume on the way down. But at that point, you're risk free. Right, so just keep that in mind. But at this point, you've missed this move, and now you need some kind of a resistance to form anywhere in this area for you to take something right back down. So let's see. So you need some kind of a resistance formed anywhere in this area for you to take this down. You're starting to see the exhaustion with these candles, right? These wicks, right? We're starting to reject this area. This candle's pushing up, to start off. Obviously, it could just be creating that top wick and then continuing down. But at the same time, you don't need to take that sell right there anyway. Yeah, see how these candles are getting a little bit weaker right there? That should show you that we're going to be coming back up. And this is what you guys want anyway. What was it again? Okay, so let's go back to December 15th. We'll see what GJ gave us over here. Here we go. So December 15th, what ended up, this is kind of an anomaly compared to the other rate hikes, but right over here was 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you got a bullish push on the London move. You got that bullish push on the London move. Everything was kind of being priced in. What you had, too, to start off the week over here was a hard push. I believe this would have been Monday. Yeah, or no, Tuesday over here. So Tuesday, you ended up getting a hard push. I'm not too sure what that was. We could go back into the economic calendar, but that's not what we're focusing on right now. But you got a nice push over here. Price ended up holding this support over here. You got a little bit like of a fake out right there, right? Price closed right back above. What happens with a fake out? Most of the time, price will obviously retest that previous resistance, but a lot of times too, it'll break out of the other side of that. So we ended up creating another higher low. We push up. This is the London session right here during December 15th. And then all of a sudden the rate hike comes out, or this is right before. This is what I was just talking about. So right before the rate hike comes out at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, price ends up pushing down and correcting this London move, which we already know how New York session typically likes to correct the London move. But that's exactly what just happened over here. And then when the rate hike came out, nothing really happened, right? Like price didn't really push too far in any direction. It just kind of consolidated over here. But if we go back to the previous one before that, November 3rd, and then actually, let me go back to December 15th here. What ended up happening that 13th, claim account change. All right, so we ended up getting claim account change. That's what pretty much brought everything down. You also had CPI coming out for the US over here. So any of those two things could have pretty much moved GJ on that Tuesday. But if we go back to November 3rd over here. What's up, Charlie?
Good morning.
Good morning, buddy. Got your Wi-Fi back, huh?
Yeah, it's great. It's It's working properly now. It's about 20 times faster.
Oh, that's good. It's the best, right? You get new
Yeah,
Wi-Fi?
we've got like full fiber mesh internet, whatever that means. But it's really good.
There you go. Awesome. Glad to hear it. So this right here was London session right before the rate hike, right? So you had a nice bearish push over here, right? And then price ended up consolidating, and then you got the rate hike over here, and price ended up tanking from here around 9 o'clock. So you got this little consolidation right after the London push, which is something maybe we could end up getting today, where right now we're making that push. Maybe we consolidate a little bit and then we continue right back down. But the rate hike volume should be pushing in soon. So it's never going to look exactly the same exact way. You're just trying to get an idea. And I think the next one is also going to give you another good idea. September 22nd. Fill this out. So September 22nd, again, you ended up getting a hard push during London, right? As soon as London opened over here, or actually an hour after, you got a hard tank. Price kind of consolidated over here, and then all of a sudden you get the rate hike over here, and price continued down. So that's more similar to what we just saw in November, right? So now let's go back. I think it was August 4th. August 4th over here. So London again. London was more so like basically trying to slowly climb up. This is that setup that we like, right? Where you end up getting this bullish candle close. All these candles are weaker too. Then this candle closes bearish. This candle passes the high of it and then flips bearish, passing the low of all these supports over here, right? And then just completely crashes. This is more of a riskier setup. Your stop loss should be up here above that candle. Sometimes you could put it right there, but you need a lot of volume in this move for price to continue right back down. That's a little bit more difficult for you guys to take. I don't expect you guys to take a move like that anytime soon. Typically, you want to wait for this candle to close anyway. But again, a lot of times price ends up playing out like that. But right over here, you end up seeing the rate hike come in, and then we just ended up consolidating after that. Right, so we didn't get too much volume after that. We'll go back one more to June of 16, Thursday as well, and then right over here you have, let's see, that's 15, and then London starts coming in. So again, we get that London push, price consolidates, the rate hike comes out, and then we end up continuing right back up. And again, they did increase by 25 basis points over here. This one, they ended up increasing by 50 basis points. This one by 50 basis points as well. Yeah, 50 basis points as well. And right now they're expecting, November was, let's go back to our current week. What's up, Quentin? So
Morning,
again,
boys.
morning, buddy. November was a 75 basis point increase, and right now they're expecting 3.5. Or that was December. I'm sorry. They were expecting 3.5, and that's what they got, a 50 basis point increase. And right now they're expecting another 50 basis point increase. So I'm not sure what kind of move we're going to be getting from this, right? But what we know from our technicals and the setups that we trade is that we want to see some sort of a pullback or consolidation in this area, and then price continuing right back down, giving us a nice bearish close, and then continuing down. But this is that move that we've been looking at for the last 5 rate hikes, where you get that London push. Can we get this consolidation in here and then get the further London push? And by the daily, and what we see on the daily, most likely we're going to end up getting that. This is what we've been saying since Monday, which would most likely happen after we got this bearish candle close right there, right? Close a strong bearish, top wick formed, flip bearish, past the low, close a strong bearish, right? And then continue down through these areas. And again, that 4-hour candle that we talked about yesterday, right at that same level of 160, right there and right there. We're getting a similar move, not as clean, but right now it's pretty much moving right now. So based on this setup alone, Serge, what do you think? What do you think GJ should be going right here based on this setup? Like, let's say we were scalping. and you saw a setup like this on the 30-minute, where do you think price would be going?
Think it would go down.
Okay, where?
Well, to the next support, at least.
100%, right? It definitely looks like we could get something like depends, like maybe we get that top wick formed right over here. Price continues right back down. The previous 4-hour candle didn't give us that big of a top wick right there, but this definitely looks like we could continue a move similar to this one right over here. Right, nice impulsive move. Right, so we'll see what that 4-hour ends up giving us. The 1 hour over here has created a top wick, very small top wick, and past the low. But right now, the previous 1 hour candle didn't give us a bottom wick, right? So we just got to be careful with, you know, any kind of pullback during the rate hike. But this is going to be our first target, 158,500. And then obviously you get a clean move coming all the way down to 157,750. Get the 30-minute. So 30-minute ended up creating that top wick and passing the low. 15-minute is now retracing over here, but you're seeing the exhaustion right in here. All right, so can we get some sort of a pullback so we're not necessarily selling at the low down here? I don't want to be forcing anything like that. I want to see a nice top wick rejection or anything like that where we could take price right back down. So we're just gonna wait for that. We're gonna see if we get any kind of moves, and then we're gonna start breaking down gold and US 30 like we always do. All right. So it's good to have Charlie back. Let's see.
Yeah, it's good to be back, thanks.
Absolutely. Lim, how have those deck of cards been going?
It's good.
Yeah,
I've still been
Still-
using them about
still
still
beating your
trying
time.
to improve still trying to.
Let's go. That's good shit. Charlie, that'll be a big thing for you too. Starting those deck of cards, that's gonna build
I
a
was
lot.
going to ask that. What is that all about?
So yeah, we could go over that real quick. So a deck of cards is, do you know who Ray Lewis is? You probably don't know who that is.
No.
He was a linebacker for the Baltimore Colts, or Baltimore
Okay.
used to be the Baltimore Colts, but Baltimore Ravens. And he would use a deck of cards to do a workout, and each card had a specific rule and meaning. So a joker is 50 reps. So a red joker for me is 50, like he would do all push-ups, but what I do is I split it between abs and push-ups. So a red card would be push-ups, black cards is abs. Okay. And you're probably not going to get through the full deck in the first time, but you know, you're constantly trying to work your way up to it. And within a week, you're going to start to feel yourself getting stronger and stronger, especially with your triceps and your chest and everything when it comes to push-ups. So, here's that pullback on GJ. But what you want to do is so the Joker is 50, Ace is 25, right? The face cards, King, Queen, Jack are all 10s. And then the number cards are the face value. So a 10 card, a 9 card, that's all the amount of reps that you got to be doing for those. Trying to think if I'm missing any other ones. I don't think so. But what you could start to do as well is mess around with the suits of the cards. So like a diamond for me is like a red diamond for me is squats. For me, for like red hearts is push-ups. Okay, so Lim has his own way of doing this. I split it clubs,
And
abs.
you do the whole deck in one workout.
Yeah, and I've been getting like in the morning, it's typically takes longer than it does like if I did it in the afternoon because you're a little bit more tired. But
Yeah.
typically in the morning for this week, I brought it down from 15 minutes down to 13 minutes.
It's
All right.
taken me about 3 weeks to get up to 50 burpees. It's going to take me a while to be, but I've got there. I can do 50 burpees,
Nice.
not in a row, but I'm doing them in like sets of 10, and I'm adding 10 at a time. So,
I love that.
and I'm doing this modified workout. It's called a man matrix. You use 2 hex dumbbells, and you do a push up, and you do a row, and then you come up and do a squat with them, and then a press, and they're amazing for your heart rate.
Wow.
They're amazing
Send that
strength.
over to me. I'll try it.
Yeah, there's a video of them. They're an old exercise from that they were popular a few years back. I'll send you it.
Okay. Yeah, send that over to me. So Lim, you were saying
Yeah, they're punishing.
I bet. Clubs are abs, diamonds are push-ups, spade is a burpee, heart is a squat. Okay. Joker, 50 plank jacks. Okay. Nice, man. Everyone's got their own variation of it, which is cool. You just don't want to make it too easy on yourself. But this looks awesome.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Friend of
So
mine gifted me this book recently. It's named Spark: How Exercise Will Improve the Performance of Your Brain. I'm just 50 pages in, but it's super interesting so far. Well, I'll tell you about it when I finish it. But I read 50 pages between yesterday and today.
that's awesome.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
You know how you
and
like it.
in the beginning they're talking about how they implemented 45 minutes of physical education in the morning in a school in the US, and how much it improved test scores in students.
Hold on 1 second. That's awesome. Yeah, dude, I think if you're not working out, you're slowly aging yourself more and more.
Yeah.
All right, so we got 4%, and 50 basis point increase. So that was expected. This is why you don't trade the news, right? Wait for something, wait for candles to close, wait for a nice calm setup for yourself, something that you're used to, and then you end up executing. But right now, so far, it looks like a fake out. So if we could get a close back into this area, could price continue right back up? Look at this. Hold on, all right, so yeah, so we're bouncing off this area right now. Hold support. This 15-minute. Oh, remove that. We are moving. So yeah, as we were talking about, like Quentin, I mean, like I said, physical exercise, like if it ages your brain, right? And you end up just becoming like, it's the same thing with retiring too, right? If you end up retiring and you don't have any kind of purpose in life, you're not going anywhere. You're gonna age yourself so much quicker. So would
Yeah,
I be? What was that?
No, I was saying definitely, and that's what he's been saying in the book, and he's talking about a lot of experiences that have been done on mice too, and they show how exercise, how much impact it has on the brain, and then the brain having impact on the body.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think the benefits of exercise is more powerful for your brain than it is your body.
Yeah, exactly what this is.
I mean, not by much, but I do think like you're benefiting your mind more than you are your body, and it's like exercising your mind too. That most people, it's like therapy, and the more confident you feel, the better you feel, the healthier you feel, the lighter you feel, everything, all those things. I get all benefits every other asset of your life. So right now, obviously, we just pulled back pretty hard over here, right? What I think could possibly happen is we just got this liquidity grab, this pullback, and then we could still end up closing bearish, and maybe we could continue this down. And by that, I mean maybe a deeper pullback into this range. And again, everything depends on this level right here. So if we could close below that level at some point, this could continue right back down, kind of like what I was talking about yesterday. So maybe we end up holding this as a resistance. And then continuing down. Let's see. As you can see, the 1 minute over here held that lower high over here, right? And price is just pushing down right now. Now, this might be a little bit more advanced for a lot of you guys, but trading the reaction to the news, I could see if the 1 minute closes below this area and holds it as a resistance, you could place your stop loss up here and grab the entire move continuing right back down, potentially. It'd be a gamble, but I could see that happening. But you probably might as well wait for, your setup here, at least on the 15-minute time frame, to take this thing down. That might be more of your repertoire. What's up, Lenny?
Morning.
Morning, buddy. How are you?
Not bad.
It's good to hear. You take anything this morning or no?
No. Not yet.
All right. Just waiting. So the 5 minute closed right below that level. Closed a bullish candle with a wick to fill, but let's see if we can hold this as a resistance. But if you look at the 1 minute, this is kind of what I'm talking about. This whole level is critical. And if we can hold this as support, I could see this continuing right back up and retesting that. Or if we close below here and hold that as a resistance, this thing could continue right back down. Could go either way right now. But mostly, I would say it should go bearish. That's my main bias. Very easy to start forcing something that you're not used to taking. So you don't want to be doing that. I'm gonna see what the I'm gonna keep an eye on this on my other screen, and then we're going to actually, with that being said, if the 5 minute closes like this, I could see us putting a stop loss up here and this thing continuing right back down. Again, based on that, the 4 hour, like that could have just been a liquidity grab. You could maybe put your stop loss above the 4 hour if you want, right? So that you could grab this entire move down. But for now, I would just stay patient and see what we end up getting. But let's go over to gold and see what we got going on. Gold is very bullish, obviously, after yesterday, and them just continuing. I mean, he sounded pretty hawkish to me as far as like wanting to combat inflation, and rightfully so. He should be trying to combat inflation. But we've been holding this resistance up here, 1980, right? Keep an eye on GJ here. Part of me wants to grab this GJ move and continuing down. Anybody else looking at that? Especially if this candle flips bearish. This candle flips bearish here on the 30-minute. Like this is continuing down. That's a nice liquidity grab. But I'm looking at the 5-minute here. And if the 5-minute could close bearish like that, I think we could continue down from here. Something tells me the 1 minute may be coming back up this way a little bit. You know what? You see how that's flipping? See this candle right here? Again, basing this off the 4-hour. This should be continuing down. And I think a stop loss right up here should be safe. I'm going to enter like a dynamic risk here. And let this thing go. So I just entered this right here. Now what price did I enter? 158,605. So right there. And my stop loss is right above that resistance. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
So I'm just
Yeah.
trying to capture the volume over here. We should be safe from coming back up here. I think if we close anywhere above this area, right? If we start closing above this area and more likely holding this as support, then I'm going to be closing 50 of that. But I'm trying to grab the entire move here on the 4-hour to continue this thing down. Maybe with that New York volume coming in now, just like we saw in the past with after rate hikes, that price just ends up kind of consolidating and then continuing down. Maybe we can capture that. Especially after this liquidity grab, like tapping into that range one more time and now continuing down. My only thing is we're kind of at the low of this. You could argue that's like a channel right there, but we could be breaking through. Who knows? We'll see. Trend lines are not that important to me. Anybody have any questions on this?
I'm thinking about maybe entering if the 15 closes below support and then on the next candle. What do you think about that?
The 15 closes below support. I like that as well. Yeah, I like that as well. It's probably even safer, you know. And I'm looking to see this candle closes in 4 minutes.
Having trouble reading time?
Yes. Dude, I did a workout this morning and it didn't even calculate my calories. Been doing that every once in a while. It's annoying. I think it's because I get notifications at a certain time and it like pauses the workout, but it didn't pause the time, so leads me to believe that's not what it is.
Yeah. You don't work out hard enough.
Yeah.
That's what it
I
is.
gotta work out harder to count the calories. All right, so we'll just watch this for now. Lenny, what are you looking at on gold?
Right below our 1949
1949. Okay.
or above 1958.
Let's check it out. All right, so the daily, obviously, we've been holding this support. This was that key level. We had a very nice push up, and we're continuing that push up, as we could see. We ended up getting a solid close yesterday above that resistance right here. And then this current daily candle doesn't have any bottom wick over here. So where are we going with this current daily candle? Just pushed up right over here. So we've been bullish all day so far. This is that first daily candle over here. So right now we're kind of creating these higher lows, respecting. We got a new high, price continuing up. We could pull back at any point, right, and get like a deeper pullback to continue up. But right now, price is creating higher lows. So we want to keep that in mind. Now, what we see here is we're pretty much ranging right in the middle of there. So what were the prices you were saying?
58 and 149.
1958 and 49. Okay. I like it. Yeah, there you go. Adjust that up to 158. Makes sense. You don't want to trade anything in there. And then if you want to capitalize on this pullback, you could possibly do so with he moves to the left over here. So we end up getting some kind of a fake out and we're exhausted of this bullish move up. You could see price coming right back down. But over here, move to the left over here.
Oh, DJ moving.
Yeah, it's pushing. It's nice. Yeah, you have some kind of a resistance right here. Yeah, you get some kind of a resistance right there, and then after that, you got a clean move coming into this area right there. Yep. So that's the same exact resistance. We could get rid of this. So that's where you see price kind of exhausting right now. And then once we break above that, you got clean moves on either side. So it's not worth taking anything in here. Let's go back to GJ real quick. So GJ's pushing. This is nice. So I'm looking for that 1-to-1 over here, 36 pips. What's up, Dylan? Morning, buddy.
Good morning.
More
How you
so
doing?
afternoon for you.
Yeah, I know, right? Dude, I've been watching GJ all night. I just looked again. I can't believe it made that big ass wick like that.
Yeah, that's a nice liquidity grab. That's what we look for every time. Typically, you want to wait for this candle to close right here on the 15. That's what we were saying we were looking for. But I took a little bit earlier of an entry just because, you know, it's something I'm not entirely used to, but I've seen over and over and over again with reacting to the news and not being part of this move. And you saw that this candle pushed down as soon as the rate hike came out. Then all of a sudden it was like chopping up and down and then made this push. And then everything decided based on this area right here. Look at that. All right, I'm going to secure.
Well, shit, you're looking at the 1 minute right now.
Yeah, so that's the
Gotcha.
only time you'll see me executing trades on the lower time frames is reaction to the news. All right.
Yeah.
Let me.
Yeah, and do you remember that like moving average strategy that I would always talk about?
Yes.
Dude, that is the same exact thing.
With what?
Like that's like what you look for, like how price shoots right up and then it stalls and then
Yep.
like with that bullish candle, like that would create that gap in my moving average strategy that I would always talk about.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys see, hold on, let me just close. I closed 90% at 35 pips. 1-to-1, stop loss at break even, 90%. Okay. So I just want to let me just take a screenshot of this real quick. Didn't get a chance to journal this. So this is why and we sat here and watched the entire move, and we also watched the reaction to the news and all that stuff. Short GJ plus 35 on 2/2/23 at where do we take that at, like 7:06 a.m. Thursday, New York. So you guys saw price go crazy right over here, right? This is why it's difficult to be placing sell stops, because maybe you would, if you place your sell stop below this support over here or below that support, you would have been stopped at right over here. And then guess what? You would have been right about the direction, wrong about the trade, which is one of the worst things to kind of be part of. Right. So all you got to do is wait for the reaction to the news. Okay. We see that we're holding a resistance over here and price is continuing down. We're starting to close below these areas over here, breaking through that support. That's where I ended up entering. Nice, safe reaction to the news. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, actually, 9 minutes after the news came out. So that's typically anywhere between 5 minutes and 30 minutes. You want to trade any time after data comes out. Now, one thing that I journaled yesterday for you guys to, and you guys could be doing the same thing, is hold on, just put that in there. Is the gold trade yesterday, right? So what I could have done is entered on that 1 minute. I didn't really want to do that based on like I thought price should have gone the other way based on the way he was talking. Typically, you know, not typically, but a lot of times news or markets will react differently than you think. Not all the time, but maybe 20% of the time, price will do complete opposite of what maybe somebody's saying or what you think is going to happen. But right over here, this is the 1 hour. This was the 30-minute. So we get this is after too. But right over here, 30-minute zoomed in. This is the 15-minute. This is the 5-minute, and then this is the 1 minute, where we ended up getting this little liquidity grab. Price pushes up. The problem is this would have been like before 3 o'clock, which typically is where I like to trade. FOMC, right? Press conference starts at 2:30. The rate hike is 2 o'clock, and then I like to trade the trend at 3 o'clock, and typically that's where I get my move. But this kind of happened at like 2:44, where you ended up getting a strong bullish candle close above, perfect retest of this previous resistance over here, and then you got that strong close above that area, right? So what you could have done is enter after that candle, knowing there's going to be some kind of a pullback anywhere in this area, but there's no perfect, entry. It's not like you would have been able to enter anywhere down here with like a safer entry, or like a tighter entry. What you would have just done was just enter after that candle closed and put your stop loss below that wick. Right. And if you ended up getting any kind of cross below this area or maybe a close below that area, you close 50. Right. But at the end of the day, you would have been able to grab this entire move thing up. Make sense? So that's something that you guys could journal. Not only that, but what did you get on the 5-minute? This is a re-entry right here. So what I would have done was obviously you got this nice move coming up. You get the high created, price pulls back, you get that strong bearish candle close right here, and then you get this liquidity grab, candle flips bullish and closes a strong bullish candle. You could have entered, put your stop loss below that candle, bottom wick formed, past the high of the previous candle right there, and then grabbed your 1-to-1 right here, 42 pips. Stop loss below here, and then you would have moved that to break even. And then right up here, you could have secured another, just being that even 100 number, you could have secured up here at 100 pips. Make sense? Both of them. You could have secured both of them. This one, again, I would have closed 80% at 53 pips, 1-to-1. Stop loss at break even with this one, and you would have grabbed this entire move. All right. So that's kind of how you trade FOMC. I missed it yesterday just because I wasn't comfortable with gold rising like that after the way he was talking. It typically doesn't do that. But you're not always right. So this was the 1 minute trade. 90% at 35 pips. Plus break even. So that's the 1 minute. Quinn, did you end up getting this on the 15th? You just didn't like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of knew it was gonna play out that way, but it closed a little above, like on the support I had.
Okay.
The 15, my support was just a tiny bit lower, and
On the 15-minute?
and it didn't make a top wick. So I knew typically when you get that move with volume on a news release, that top wick isn't as important as it is usually, but I was like I haven't seen that enough times yet.
So you said your 15-minute was,
yeah, I had my support a little lower, Yeah.
Like
Right
somewhere
there.
right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I had mine based on the 30-minute. Yeah, so I had it like right here with the little fake out right over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is the more correct zone. You're right. So looking at the 15 now. Okay, so that closed above. Okay.
Typical long wick liquidity grab and then continue to move that, like it was the daily bias and all that. That's really the typical news move, and
Yeah.
I'm starting to really know it.
It-
Probably next time I'll be able to execute on it.
This with a close like that is your key right there.
Yeah.
Safe stop loss somewhere up here. If you want to put it up here, you just got to grab a bigger move, which you're getting pretty close to getting a 1-to-1 anyway, right? But that liquidity grab, and again, I know I say this all the time, but I know you guys got to hear it because it helps you feel better about it. But I used to miss moves like this all the time. I still do every once in a while. Everyone does. Like great traders miss moves, and we're missing moves on other pairs all the time, you know. So, understanding that in the beginning of your cycle, in the beginning of your trading career, there's going to be a ton of moves that you just need to sit on your hands and watch play out so you don't lose your money. A lot of traders end up losing the money earlier in their careers and then blowing their accounts and end up quitting at some point because they weren't patient enough to pay their dues of watching these moves play out. You need to train your eyes in the beginning. Nobody has that patience. Only the successful ones do. That's why I always teach you guys patience, like our standards here. You guys got to make sure that you don't need to catch a trade today, right? If this is a setup that you see playing out or you don't see a setup playing out at all, just sit back and watch. But if you do see a setup playing out that you're not too sure of, just watch it play out, live back test it. Okay, next time I'll probably grab this. I'll just lower my risk a little bit. Maybe I need to see it 2 times. Okay, so I'll sit back 2 times and watch it play out twice. Now I'm just training my eyes. As long as you're going back and reviewing it, just like taking notes, reading a chapter of a book, and then going back and reviewing those notes, you're a lot more likely to comprehend and basically understand what you were reading in that chapter. So it's the same thing with trading. So you'll be grabbing these. But yeah, this right here, just based on a technical note, you know, we already just went over psychology, but technically wise, when you get a candle like that in the 15-minute, this is why I was saying, like, you could really wait for the 15 to close, and you got a strong close like that. And with the 4-hour the way it is, this thing should be continuing down. Maybe not like immediately like that, but sometimes like maybe you get like a pullback like that. But again, with your stop loss up here, or even above there, you got plenty of room for price to hold a lower high. Make sense?
Yep.
Awesome. I know it's very discouraging missing moves. It's not fun, especially. I mean, you should embrace the whole concept of like I need to see things before I start taking them. But when it comes to moves that like these are setups that like you've seen over and over and over again, and these are part of your trading plan, and you're just not taking them because you have fear of losing, you should not be going through that. Like that should piss you off. But these, it's like, okay, understand that this is what you got to go through. That's all. Now let's see if gold made a move. Nope. Gold just sitting in that range. Gold made its move yesterday, and that doesn't mean we're not going to make a move today. But a lot of times when you get these impulsive moves, just like we got right here, right? You got a beautiful 30-minute impulsive move right here, right? What ended up happening after that? Orders were being grabbed, right? You get this consolidation. This is the current this is a main way that price moves. You either get an impulsive move, consolidation, and then continue up. You either get an impulsive move, consolidation, and then you reverse, or you get the classic pullback and continue up. This is just that consolidation. This is just that consolidation right here. Right? So either we consolidate and continue through here, or we consolidate and reverse. That's all you're waiting for. Just wait for that consolidation to break and don't get trapped. US 30 is moving here a little bit. I'm just gonna remove these. Go back to the higher time frames. So the US 30 obviously bounced around yesterday, right? We have our pre-COVID highs and our previous yearly lows. We have our all-time highs here at 37,000. And then we got our resistance here and price holding 33,000 pretty strongly, right? So right now, and again, like the way I just broke that down, when we do our breakdowns on here, I want you guys to be that quick eventually. It's just like, okay, this is my resistance, this is my resistance. You know, you don't have to be too less lackadaisical about it, but at the same time, it's I want you guys to be confident and know exactly where your levels are. Most recent support and resistance. It's all that really matters right now, especially on the monthly. But the monthly right now is obviously we're sitting here in a range. You'll see it on the weekly over here. We're pretty much sitting right in this area. You can adjust this to your previous resistance and that wick. And then you obviously have these previous highs over here that we keep failing to break above. This candle already failed to do so yesterday, right? So we now already rejected that area once again. All these candles over here just keep rejecting that area. So right now, where are we going to end up going? We also keep rejecting the area down below as well. So just keep that in mind too. But right now, that's your most recent support and resistance. Last week we got that strong bullish candle. Looks like we could create that bottom wick and continue up. But Powell did sound pretty dovish yesterday, so you got to keep that in mind. So there's not enough optimism. He didn't sound too dovish yesterday, so there's not enough optimism to push us through this area, right? But this is, again, another area that we just keep retesting and rejecting. So I'm just going to mark this level off right here. That's that previous support, resistance, support over here. Let me just check back on GJ again. See if I want to secure again. I left 90 and, I'm at break even right now, so I'll just leave it. I'll just let it go. I don't even think I set a TP. You'll never really see me setting TPs too often. I know where I'm going to take profit, and I just let most of them run. Morning, Sammy. All right. US 30 here. Okay, so the daily right now, you're getting a big retracement here, a strong bullish candle close, and then we get another rejection. What happened last time we rejected there, and the last time before that we rejected there. Can we get the same thing right here? Very likely. But right now, what we have been doing is creating a bearish trend where price just keeps pushing down over here, but also at the same time, since bouncing off of 33,000 for the previous time or the last time, we've been creating these higher lows and higher highs. Not so much higher highs anymore. You're starting to really exhaust right in there, previous support. All right, so this is all just one big range right now, but these are some of those ranges that you could potentially end up playing, right? So we had this previous support right over there that I could see if price ends up closing below that area on the lower time frames, you may be able to get a low being or a bearish move creating over here, right? We just keep rejecting that area. If I get like a nice close right here on this candle right below here, I could see the next candle creating a top wick and continuing down. Let's see the 1 hour. All right. So we ended up breaking below this previous support to the left and closing below over here. Now we're starting to approach this area. We do have a clean move to the left over here. So you may not have to worry about this area too much, but just understand that this is an area that we could tap into before we retest this area and then continue right back down, which is what I would like to see. See the 30-minute. Yeah, 30-minute over here. We're starting to get exhausted over here a little bit. I want to see some kind of a lower high being formed over here. A nice rejection. This was a nice liquidity grab for us to understand that price could be starting to reverse. Right, tapping into that area. Then we get the lower high, lower high. Can we get another lower high right here and take price down? This is our next target. But just keep in mind that it's getting a little choppy in here, and obviously you're ranging right now, and also respecting higher lows. So understanding the limitation of your trade is somewhere in here, maybe right over here. But nonetheless, we are holding that previous resistance pretty hard here on the 4-hour, and also creating lower highs. Capiche?
Kaposh.
Capache. We don't have
Oh.
anyone from Italy in here yet.
Oh, capito is I have understood.
Capito. Capito. All right, so we're just waiting on GJ here. I mean, I could honestly see me getting stopped at break even up here. That's fine. I already closed 90%. I'm just really working on holding my runners, but this could very well just continue right back down as well. So just gonna watch this play out. I'm fine getting stopped at break even. That's okay. But even then, maybe you find a better setup over here because now you get the range. And again, if you miss this move here, wait for your setup, the classic break and retest, where you hold that lower high and you get a nice 30-minute candle bearish close with a wick to fill. You could take this thing right back down. And that should be your move for the New York session.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Awesome. And remember, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
go
me
ahead.
too.
I was gonna say, Steph, could you go on to gold, please?
Look, your gold short.
Yeah, it's just that setup right there. Like the current price action is them 2 week bearish candles, and I'm just seeing this setup a lot.
Okay.
But it's just the range that we're inside is obviously. I don't want to trade in there,
Yeah.
so I'm just saying if this breaks the
Talking about
high,
a sell?
not a buy. If this breaks the high, we would continue up.
Okay, I like that. But again, I'm just looking for that close above this area. If you do, you got a clean move coming all the way into here. 1980.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. As well.
We're back in the 21st century over here. 1958, 1956. What happened in 56? Elvis Presley came on the scene, changed basically the world. As far as like culture and stuff.
I'll probably be leaving a runner all the way till 1980.
1980. Yeah, 100%. 100%. $1956. Then you get into 1960, you get the Cold War. 1968, everything changed basically in the US as far as like culturally and music, everything. 70s, crazy, terrible economy in the US. That's when we got off the gold standard, 1971. Right? So that fucked up the US dollar, I think. And then you get into 80, and that's where you got the Soviet Union, Berlin Wall. You guys know about that in Germany. I don't think we got any of our German boys in here yet. 1990, the collapse of the Soviet Union.
My dad served in Berlin.
Oh, did he? During that?
Yeah, at the end, like it was over, but he was the last French military like group to go to Berlin.
Wow. That's pretty wild. What does he say about it?
It was like the war was over. It was just like overseeing that everything went well. So nothing crazy. Just I mean, it was wild to see how the city was, but everything was going smooth.
100%. Yeah, dude. I mean, if you think about like, I saw a post of like what someone born in that lived for 100 years and born in like 1900 has seen throughout their life. It's insane. It's crazy.
Yeah, my great grandmother died in 2020. She was born in 1901.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah, she saw the world. Wait, 1901, 2020. She was 120 years old?
No, she was born in 1911. She was at 110.
Wow. That's incredible.
100, yeah, 100 yeah.
That's amazing. She lived
Yeah,
a hell of a life, man.
that was crazy. And she was from Algeria. Like she was born
Wow.
in Algeria, then came to France.
That's amazing. What's it called? My great grandmother was born in 1914 and lived till 2000 and I want to say 9. But
Yeah.
I want to read this post off to you guys because it's pretty amazing. I think I've posted it. Oh yeah. So if you're in the US at that time. Now, wait, hold on before we get into all that side stuff. I am looking at this on the 5-minute. I'm not saying enter this right now by any means. I'm just saying I could see that continuation. Actually, the way this candle's teetering around here, I could see the exhaustion. Like that was a strong candle. Then this 5-minute candle created. Like this is what you guys want to see on the 30-minute somewhere up here. Okay. I wouldn't be executing this on the 5-minute right now, but if you want to, it's your account. But I don't think I
Actually,
would be doing that personally.
many times I've seen like after a big move down like this, when you get a very strong candle holding support, it doesn't retest the low right away. It comes back up further before making another resistance.
Yeah, I think the harder the push, especially on gold, but the harder the push, the quicker price comes up to retest either or no, I wouldn't say it at least comes up like 50%. I know some of you guys have looked at fibs in the past. I know how fibs work, but I don't trade them. But it'll at least come up 50% and then continue right back down. But the faster it moves like this, the faster it comes right back up. Just like the quicker you guys make money, the quicker it leaves. It's just human nature. See, that's going. Gold is going. Now, US 30 over here on the 30-minute is starting to flip bearish. You also got the ECB announcing their interest rate hike at 8:15. So we'll get some volume from that as well. And then unemployment claims at 8:30. Got some good volume coming in today.
Hopefully.
That 5-minute setup is playing out on DJ. It's a nice continuation. All right, so for a small amount of perspective at this moment, imagine you were born in 1900. When you were 14, World War I starts and ends on your 18th birthday, with 22 million people killed. Later in the year, a Spanish flu epidemic hits the planet and runs until you are 20. 50 million people die from it in those 2 years. Yes, 50 million people. When you're 29, the Great Depression hits. Unemployment hits 25%. Global GDP drops 27%. That runs until you are 33. The country nearly collapses along with the world economy. When you are 39, World War II starts. You aren't even over the hill yet. When you're 41, the United States is fully pulled into World War II. Between your 39th and 45th birthday, 75 million people perish in the war, and the Holocaust kills 12 million people. At 52, the Korean War starts and 5 million people perish. At 64, the Vietnam War begins and it doesn't end for many years. 4 million people die in that conflict. Approaching your 62nd birthday, you have the Cuban Missile Crisis, a tipping point in the Cold War. Life on our planet as we know it could have well have ended. Great leaders prevented that from happening, which is true. As you turn 75, the Vietnam War finally ends. Think of everyone on the planet born in 1900. How do you survive all of that? A kid in 1985 didn't think their 85-year-old grandparent understood how hard school was. Yet those grandparents and now great-grandparents survived through everything listed above. Perspective is an amazing art. As 2022 ends, let's try and keep things in perspective. Let's be smart, help each other out, and we will get through all of this. In the history of the world, there has never been a storm that lasted. This too shall pass. It's pretty cool. So we haven't gone through shit, if you think about it.
Yeah, we're 23 years into the 21st century, and the shit hasn't hit the fan yet. But
No, let's hope
it might do. It might do in the next
Well,
few years.
we're not far. Dude, I mean, a lot, if you, like I said, if you really switch that perspective, I don't have a TP on this, by the way, but if you really switch that perspective and really understand that, like, or switch your perspective and live every single life so gratefully that you're alive, that you're healthy, that you have the life that you live, that we could sit on the computers and make money like this. We have capitalism. We could do what we want. And you're only as good as what you bring to the table. That could all get switched with one world war. Pretty much all of you guys could end up getting drafted, along with myself. And then all of a sudden you're in Europe, you're in Ukraine, you're somewhere, China, trying to like defend the country, and you have no choice. So right now I'm going to secure another percentage at 100 pips.
Steph, how much did you risk on this?
I risked 1% just because it was a news. Yeah, 1%. Just because it was a news thing. Let's see. There we go. Wherever.
Doesn't look like
Hey,
we're going to get
Steph.
that break and retest, does it?
I mean, maybe later on, like you're definitely going to get a pullback from something like this, right? It may be a low pullback where it's going to be a little uncomfortable to take, just like I showed you on that 5-minute. Let's see.
Yeah, just haven't got the experience for those sort of trades yet.
Yeah, at some point you will. You're gonna, again, like that trading plan that we always put together, and when you guys first come in here and you're done with the course, it's your rough draft, and you constantly start building on it. You're not adding to it too quickly, but there's many sections in there that you can start to add to, as far as pairs, setups, most likely pairs and setups. Eventually it becomes sessions, right? There's many things that you can end up adding to that. 50%. So I only have like 10% of my total 1% running right now, so it's not too much. Lewis came in. What's up, buddy?
Good morning, good morning.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing great, man. Doing
With
great.
a nice little setup, huh?
15. Yeah, so we started early today with the interest rates. coming out of Great Britain. Couldn't really execute on gold buys yesterday, but we got GJ sells today. This is my like main pair. I know you guys all come in to the markets with like your main pair. Obviously, I have gold and GJ, gold and US 30 now as well. But GJ is the one I know like the back of my hand. Gold is pretty close to that too, but GJ is very comfortable with GJ. Let's see. I'm gonna take a picture of this 5 minute. So that could have been a potential re-entry for you guys. And this is another like kind of like reaction to the news kind of a trade, a little bit later than we're normally used to. You know, it's like 40 minutes after. But like I said, you could take that reaction to the news anytime after the news, but more so you really want to wait at least 5 minutes. But then anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes, you'll catch a setup like this where you could take this thing down. Gold still ranging. US 30. US 30 is giving us that pullback that we wanted, right? This is that area that we could potentially bounce off of, but I'm really looking for this area to hold a resistance. And if it does, I think we'll be breaking through that area and mirroring this move to the left, because this move right here really pushed through that area the latest, right? So I just think this was a possible area for, you know, to end this impulsive entry. If this is something someone took, this is where you'd want to take profit. And now that gives you that opportunity to wait for that retest. And if we get a solid retest, we'll retest that low and then continue down from there. But understand the limitation of your trade is right in there. Yeah, back to what we were saying before, like again, anything can change, you know, so that's why I always say sense of urgency with your tasks and things you need to get done, because you got to succeed soon. It's not that, you know, you got to find that balance with trading and not over risk, over trade or anything like that. Don't let it come into your trading, let it come into your work, let it come into your daily habits and all that stuff. There needs to be a sense of urgency, and you guys got to keep your foot on the pedal. All right, I'm gonna go grab my coffee real quick. I'll be right back. Gentlemen. All right. So it looks like we're continuing down here. Now this, again, is like an impulse volume push you're starting to get here on the 5-minute.
Yo,
Now, what's up, buddy?
yeah, I can talk now.
Oh, there he is.
I was just gonna say, like,
You're on a date?
no,
Sure.
100%. I tell you if I was,
I know you.
um, I just want to say, like, I missed the move
Okay.
when I came to the chat, but something that I've learned over the course of like 6 to 12 months is if you go down to the 5-minute, and this is where I got in, not knowing, but feeling a bit of FOMO, but then this is what you taught me as well. That you see that resistance on the 5-minute
Right here?
where you close 90%. No,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I got in on that candle,
Nice.
whereas the old me would have got in as soon as I joined. You know when I
Oh, yeah.
joined
Yep.
and feeling FOMO and just got in and probably got stopped out. So that's something
100%.
that I've learned over the past 6 to 12 months. And I just want to give a little shout out to you because I could have lost a lot of money today, last month, weeks before, and now I'm just making money just by waiting.
Appreciate it, man. Super proud of you. And again, like it all comes down to like focusing on your decisions instead of like how much money can I make. It's focusing on like how can what's the right decision here that I can make. And the way you do that, and the reason why we focus on like your personal lives as well, not only just trading, but your mindset and all that stuff, is because the more you do that in your personal life, the more you'll do it while you're trading. The more you
Yeah,
do it in your personal life, the more success you'll have in business. The more you do it in your personal life, the more all your relationships are going to be much better, much stronger.
it's true because even when I've been like hitting the gym, eating healthy and everything, it's just like made a big difference
The
in like general life, you know?
Quinn was literally just talking about that, right? With the book he's reading right now. It's like the gym is like the shape that you get in is just a byproduct of you going to the gym. It's just like, okay, that's awesome. Like obviously you want to be healthy. That's very important. Don't get me wrong. Like I don't want to neglect that. But at the same time, I think the main benefit of the gym is to strengthen your mind as a person, as a man, as a woman, like whatever you are. It strengthens you. It makes you stronger, more confident, more happier. You start your day off with the gym. There's a reason why your day goes so much better when you go to the gym in the morning or work out in the morning. If it wasn't for these live sessions and me trading in the morning, I'd be at the gym at 5 a.m. But instead, I get my deck of cards in.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, couldn't be prouder of you, man. And I know I always say this, it's just the beginning, but it really is. Like the amount of potential that you have is like incredible. So as long as you stay humble and keep your head down and keep working, there's no limit as to where you can go and how many people you could help.
I appreciate it, man.
Of course. Yeah, I was just putting together, or not me, but Sharjeel let me know, gave me a nice update of where he's at and what his plan is, and changing a few things with the trading as far as with the account and stuff like that. It's just like it's a big change going from either demo to live or live to trying to do a challenge account or anything like that. It's like just focus on the decisions that you're making. Like coming to the market, coming into here and seeing me taking a trade and then just trying to jump right in is not the best decision that you can make. Best decision is sitting back and waiting and being okay with missing a move. That's fine.
Yeah. As long as like one will always present itself. And I always say like think of it as your train station. You miss the stop. You'll hop on the next one. Right, and you'll eventually get to your destination. You just gotta wait a little bit longer.
100%. That's a great you gotta wait for the next train.
Yeah.
That's a great way to look at it.
Is it NFP tomorrow?
Yes, sir. It's a crazy week, isn't it?
Crazy week.
Gotta love it.
I love these weeks. And I've only started loving like these weeks since like I know how to trade them. Whereas
Mhm.
before I was just like dreading these weeks,
Mm.
just hoping that it goes my way. But now I just know what to do,
Yeah.
know what to wait for, and
And
best week.
there's also like weeks that are like super quiet that you wait for weeks like this to start trading. Right? You could
Yeah.
have like maybe one pair still in your arsenal and you're still working on the second pair, but you're not executing on it yet. And that pair is moving and your main pair is not. And you really just got to sit back and maybe it's a 2 trade week, but the next week is going to be a 5 or 6 trade week for you. Maybe even
Yeah.
10 if you really see that many good setups. But typically this is kind of that week that you see that many.
Did you guys take a trade last night or
Did I take anything?
the
Yes.
Powell speech one?
So I missed gold, which I was kicking myself about. What I did was I did journal it. If you want to go back and look at it, but I journaled what I would have done on gold over here on the 1 minute. So like trading the reaction to his speech and how he was coming out talking. He didn't start the press conference part of it where he's being asked questions, and that's typically where the market moves. But this would have been a trade around 2:44 in the afternoon after the rate hike and after his speech started at 2:30, 2:44. You would have had a nice close above that resistance right here on the higher time frames. You would have had a nice retest, and then this candle would have held support with a strong bullish candle close. I should have entered after that candle closed with my stop loss below this wick. And this would have been safe to continue this thing up. Not only that, but you had also another re-entry on the 5 minute here where you got that high created. We get the nice pullback, strong bearish close, bullish candle liquidity wick with the close. You don't have to enter after that one, but you can enter after this candle created that bottom wick, past the high of that candle and continued up. I would have still probably put my stop loss below this candle, and that's how I journaled it. But I would have put it below this candle, or actually below this candle right here. Right, you could put your stop loss potentially right there. Being that it's the 5 minute and you're really pretty overextended here anyway, I would rather put my stop loss there. You just got to hold it a little bit longer, which you would have gotten the 42 pips anyway, and then you would have gotten 100 on both on the first initial one, and then secured both positions right over here on both pairs. Make sense? So that's how you guys could have taken FOMC after the speech came out.
Yeah, makes sense.
Anybody have any questions right now? US 30.
DJ, is it retracing at the moment and it's going to go back down, or
What, GJ?
yeah?
So GJ, it's not that you want to take a buy right here, but what you want to do, especially in this market, is I would wait for any kind of resistance to form in any of these areas. Right? Any of those areas right there, you can end up taking a sell and continuing this thing down. And that'll be, you're going to have a lot more volume later on too. So you can, and again, another confirmation for yourself is the 4 hour, right? And the daily. There's nothing really stopping the daily over here after this price action over here and this consolidation. Nothing really stopping it from retesting the low. And not only that, but maybe even creating a new low right down here. Right? The more fear comes into the market, the more people are buying the Japanese yen. And when you're buying the Japanese yen, you need to sell Japanese yen pairs, which, since it's the secondary currency, you got to sell those pairs. And that's this one. The more optimism in the market, the stronger this pair is. The more pessimism, the weaker it is. Now, these are two hints here on the 30 minute where this is probably going to reverse here for a little bit. No bottom wick, much weaker candle. This candle created a bottom wick and it's now starting to push up. So, but this isn't the time to try to trade against the trend. Like try to fight the market. Too many people try to do that. Again, it may work out once or twice, but do you have a successful trading plan that that works long term doing that over time. Like if you've seen that back testing where that's successful over time, most likely not, you know, not just you, Lenny, it's anyone. So like these are the times, right, where you just got this move over here, solid close here on the 30-minute, where you just want to wait for a resistance to form and a lower high, and then you take this thing down, and now you have your range right over here. But again, there are times that you can call bottoms, but your rules, and we haven't gone over this yet. We will when we hop on our Zoom. But your rules is, let's say this is the low, right? Price ends up consolidating over here a little bit, and you think price is going to reverse and correct that move down. Your main objective is to wait for this retest, and that's your move right there. Wait for the nearest resistance to break and retest before taking that up.
Yeah, I did that yesterday at GJ and it worked out really good.
You did that yesterday?
Yeah, that's what I put in the
Your Trello?
not Trello. I posted on the
Oh,
same trade that you took.
let's check it out. Let's check it out.
You took a trade, same trade. What was that posted?
Apply to Big Jamie. This was in New York. Took the same trade, closed it, took it. Okay. Oh yeah, I think I did take a trade yesterday. I guess I didn't journal it just yet.
Yeah, you took the GJ trade.
Right over here. Oh yeah, that's right. I missed like the entire move of it. I think it was over here or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Waiting
but
for
like
the
over
retest.
here, you're trading with the trend too. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did I? I didn't journal it yet. Oh, you know what? I do remember this. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I only got the one. That's right. Okay. Yeah, I have to journal this today, but I got the 1-to-1 on this. All right. It was the previous support was broken right there. We held this resistance twice, right? Strong bearish candle close with the wick to fill. A lot of times that wick gets filled, and that's what I was looking for. And put my stop loss up here, look for that wick fill, and then price continued down. I should have left a runner, but if I put my stop loss at break even, I would have been stopped out right there. Anyway. But yeah, US 30 just kind of ranging here. I apologize. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. See, so we're getting a pullback over here. It looks like ECB rates were introduced, probably increased. Dylan, what's up, buddy?
Yo, what's up? I'm just watching
Much.
GJ.
Nice.
I was watching it all night. You know,
Yeah.
obviously, like if I was trading, which I haven't been trading, since I came back to the stream, I probably would have looked to be in that trade sometime before the stream would have started. And honestly, I probably would have gotten stopped out with that 7 o'clock wick. But that's just another example of, having the right analysis, just wrong time.
100%.
So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely the move. I knew it, dude. It's just obvious. I knew it was going to play out that way. I was watching like the 159 level, waiting for that to break. And I saw it, and that's what I said when I got a stream. Like, wow, GJ really broke down because I hadn't looked at it in a little bit. But yeah,
all you got to do is just keep journaling this right here. Just keep studying this. What you want to do is study it today after journaling it, then study it Friday as like the weekly recap that you could go back and look at all your trades and everything, and then go on Sunday when you're getting ready for next week. Go back and look at it again. All right, and
yeah,
just keep like pressing it into your mind and downloading it into your mind.
yeah, definitely. I actually have 3 days off, and I can have a lot of time. Really get things honed in. I got my freaking cork board. I ordered a 24 by 35 cork board. I'm about to hang that above my computer. That's where I'm putting, my trading plan, my goals, motivating quotes, all that stuff.
Let's go, man.
So
Love that.
Yeah.
Slowly building that momentum, right? It sounds like you already
definitely. And I think more or less just the consistency too. I need to focus on heavily.
Okay. With trading or everything else?
Definitely with trading.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I really need to just put more of my energy, like the bulk of it, into trading.
Okay. So how could you do that?
I need to start using my simulator more. Really consistently journaling. Putting the pen to the paper, writing down my ideas, what I'm thinking about, just like literally everything. So, I mean, everything you've been telling me for a while, it's literally just my lack of consistency. Starting to flip the page, and I realized like shit. Now we're into February already, but it's like January at the time I was thinking this. It's like I'm not letting a full year go by again, wasting my time when I've already, I can't say I've wasted my time in life, but I haven't used it in the right ways.
100%. The first step is just realizing that, and like understanding it, taking full ownership of it, like we always talk about. And then I'll be helping you on Friday with the simulator and stuff like that. I was just gonna say something, I forgot. Lost my train of thought. Guess it'll come back to me.
Yeah, and ultimately what I'm working for is just to have a clear mind, clear vision when I come to the charts every single day.
Thank you.
Be able to execute fluently.
You just reminded me what it was. It's the journaling, and not only Trello, but like that nightly journal that we always talk about. I've done it and I haven't done it, right? As far as like I've tried both, and I'm telling you, my life is 10 times better when I journal. The amount that you write down and you're going back and reading it over the previous week and seeing like, what exactly you were thinking on these current days, how you spent your day, how you spent your time, how you made decisions and stuff like that, how many goals you hit for the day as far as tasks and daily musts. Like that is so critical, man, for self-development and self-improvement. I can't express that enough. And that's why we have like not only morning AARs, but trading AARs too. You write about your trading psychology, you write about your morning, your morning routine, your morning psychology, and then also the end of day, which is probably the most important. It's just a nice recap of your day, how it went, what you could have been doing better, all that stuff. It's all written down, and you could always go back and look at it and read through it. But not only that, too, you're also writing your goals down every single day, staying top of mind.
Yep.
Very easy to forget your goals when you're not writing them down like that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, man.
Nice, brother. Glad to have you back on the train.
Yeah, man. I know I gotta fucking keep going at it.
Yes, sir. And you will. You will. All right. So US 30 over here, starting to retrace a little bit, really holding a nice resistance over here that we were talking about. The 1 hour has been holding a solid resistance as well, but we've also been creating these higher lows at the same time. This looks interesting to me. Not that I want to trade in this range as we keep rejecting this area, but the way this candle ended up closing right here, then the bottom wick formed past the high of the previous candle, really just pushing up over here. But if you get a close above this area, right, I could see price continuing up, at least mirroring this move. Right, and then in that area, get about 120 points. Down here, I probably would stay out of all of this. Yeah, I'd stay out of all of that. I'd trade in here. And then obviously same exact thing up here. And then you could trade in any of this up here. Just understand that you could really just hold a resistance right here and then price ends up rejecting there and then maybe faking this whole area out and continuing back down, but we'll see. Let's go back to the daily again. Yeah, daily again, like this candle right here, it's a little bit too strong. This candle right here is very strong, but then you got that candle right there, which led me to believe that this candle is creating a top wick and possibly continuing down, but it could very well end up holding support right over here, just kind of consolidating above here and possibly end up continuing right back up with any kind of optimism in the market. UJ 30-minute is going to be closing soon, most likely closing bullish. So maybe you could get a deeper pullback. And then gold, it's just ranging. Oh, there's a new book I heard about. It's called Jaws. Have you heard of it? Talking about the way like people breathe through their nose compared to their mouth and the benefits of that.
I've heard.
No, but I read
Humor,
Breathe by
Breathe.
James Nestor a few years ago. That sounds
James Nestor.
similar. That was a really good book. Yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna add that to my wish list.
he was on the Rogan podcast. It's worth watching.
James Nestor.
Yeah, book's called Breathe.
Okay.
But this one sounds interesting as well.
The story of a hidden epidemic, Jaws. Let me see. There's a silent epidemic in the Western civilization, and it is under our noses. Our jaws are getting smaller and our teeth crooked and crowded, creating not only aesthetic changes, but also difficulties with breathing. Oh, okay. I feel like I would probably read Breathe first, and then check this one out. Oh, All right, so now looking at the 5 minute here on GJ, it looked like we were probably continuing down over here. But now you just got this bullish candle close, which pretty much negates this going right back down like immediately after a strong bearish close holding that resistance. This tells me that we could potentially continue up as well, but we don't know. Right, price could go anywhere on either side of this area over here. Most likely we'll get this pullback up here, which would be nice, but it could go either way. All right, so we have unemployment coming out as well. Should be at 8:30. We can wait for that. Yeah. Unemployment and prelim non-farm productivity, prelim unit labor costs as well. Expecting an increase over here. And then also a decrease in prelim unit labor costs. But the main thing is going to be unemployment. Let's see what we get here. Can we catch a trade on gold? Are we going to continue up or are we going to get some kind of a correction? Anyone need help with anything? And Lewis, so we do we have a Zoom scheduled? I thought we were gonna do it sometime this week.
No, we don't have anything scheduled this week.
Shit, I'm pretty filled up today. Might be able to do it Saturday if you're down.
You said when?
Saturday. You good Saturday?
Saturday at what time?
Sometime in the morning.
Yeah, I don't see why not. We can definitely do that.
Maybe like 9:30, 10?
We actually Saturday. Hold on a second. Saturday in mind. Let me get back with you. I think I might have to be somewhere around like 10.
Okay. If not, we could always do it Monday.
Yeah, how's Monday? Yeah, probably Monday would probably be better.
Okay. Ooh, Monday's probably right after the stream.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's good. Okay.
I'm done. Yeah, so like, well, like around 9-ish, 9:30.
Yeah. Let's see. You'll probably do 9:30. Okay. And Lewis, what's your email?
I'll send it to you on your on Discord.
Perfect. All right, unemployment just came out. Let's see what we got. We just got a little push on GJ. It closed bearish on the 5-minute too. Pretty strong as well. And you know what? The previous candle closed. I got some red numbers here. Unemployment dropped a little bit from previous and expected. But I'm looking at US 30s pumping up a little bit. But the way these candles closed over here, maybe a safe stop loss above this area. Top wick form past low of that previous candle right there. But looking more so at the 15-minute, 15-minute closed a strong bearish. The only thing is, like, this is a hard rejection area right over here. We've rejected this area multiple times in the past. Get that wick as well. But I could actually see this thing continuing down. And then if we close above the support over here on this candle or break its own highs right there on the 15-minute candle, you could always close 50. But I could see with a stop loss up here, price pushing through that area and continuing down. That's like your pullback that I was saying. Anywhere in this whole area right here, we could be pulling back into. See if we get that continuation. We see the 30-minute. My only issue here, though, is the weak candle close right here, no bottom wick. Then this candle closed like a doji. So we are holding a support in here, and you could obviously see it on the 15-minute, right in here. So maybe wait for a close below that area. But I want to look at gold over here, bouncing off that support. This is obviously a key area. Previous support over here to the left, 30-minute candle. Would like to see it flip bullish and close bullish, like a strong bullish candle or something like that. Bottom wick forms past the high of it, and then I could see this thing continuing up. But safer buys are going to be above that area. Yeah, the one thing I was talking about with GJ is the 1 hour candle closed a strong bearish with a wick to fill. Current 1 hour candle, the first half of it created that top wick. Second half with New York volume could continue this thing down. But just be aware of this area because that's a 1 hour support. I think a safer sell would be below that area. Keep in mind too, this 4 hour candle is closing in the next 30 minutes. So that might be another reason to hold back on something like that. Yeah, we're teetering around this area. But again, like I said, you got dues to pay, and you know the amount of trades that I've missed on Rakil's stream, when I was first starting to come in there, and they were taking all these crazy trades or nice post news trades or anything like that. All I did was, I mean, there were times where I would try to jump in there low risk, but eventually I started to realize, like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit back and watch these, and then I'll start executing on them when I'm ready. And that was my whole blueprint. That was the only thing that worked for me. So the only thing that I could talk about is what's worked for me anyway. So that's what I try to push towards you guys.
What are you looking on for gold?
For gold, just break it on either range, either side of the range here. You will have safe sells executing on the pullback over here. But as I was telling Lenny, like, you really want to wait for the break and retest below this area because you'd be calling tops. So make sure that we hold this as a resistance first, because there's a high likelihood that you can also get this fake out right here. Right, a deeper pullback into that range and then continues up. So if you hold resistance right here, take this all day. You get a clean move to the left. At least trying to fill that wick right there. Because then you're coming into this area. So just understand the limitations of your trade and look for the proper move, the proper secure points and all that stuff. Stick to your rules. But even better yet, if we hold support right here, right, bounce off of it, you get that close above this area and continue up. I could see that happening. And I can also see the 30-minute, it's not doing it anymore, but I could see the 30-minute bouncing off of here, flipping bullish, closing a strong bullish candle. Next one creates a bottom wick, passes the high of it. I could see that continuing up with some New York volume today. But I wouldn't do that if I was you guys. I would just wait for price to close above this area. That's just more of a thing that I've seen in the past that I could see playing out.
Gotcha.
Makes sense? And then US 30 over here, you're sitting right back into this range. Be careful around this resistance. Look at all these wicks coming into this area on the 4-hour. Right? I do like the way this thing is kind of flipped bullish almost. And we are respecting these higher lows, but at the same time, more so in the 1-hour. Look how many times we've rejected this area pretty hard. You know? The only thing is these impulsive moves, if you just look at these, understanding the history of them, they're getting like a little bit smaller, right? So like we had a nice bearish channel right over here, right? This one was only smaller and it was more short-lived than this one. If you just look at this right there, this one was a little bit more short-lived, right? Then this one became even more short-lived. This one became even more short-lived because you're getting higher lows. Right? So now we're just kind of sitting in a range right here. You got to wait for price to break out. And I could see if it breaks out to the upside, I could see it continuing up to 34,400. But I could also see us continuing right back down over here and maybe rejecting this resistance. I don't know if you want to trade in this range. It's up to you, but I wouldn't do it. I'd rather wait for probably a close below this area right here. I wouldn't touch anything in this area. I'd wait for that close below here with a clean move to the left, back down to 33,720. I don't think you trade US 30, do you? Lewis?
No. I did not. I mean, not yet, at least.
Just GJ and gold?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you feel like you've mastered either one of those just yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so focus on those right now. And once you feel like a second nature, like you get that intuition feeling all the time of like, I know what price is about to do. I have a great feeling about it. I don't know 100%, and nor do you need to know 100%, but I have a very good feeling where price is going to go. Once you start to feel that with those two pairs, then you can move on to starting to journal US 30 and understanding the way it moves.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say it took me like maybe 5 months to really get a good grasp on US 30. I still feel like I don't have a great grasp on it, but I have a pretty good one. Like I could easily trade it, but I don't have that feeling that I do with GJ and gold.
Yeah.
You'll know once you start to get that with GJ and gold, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like a spidey sense.
You started trading US 30 when Sharma started trading US 30, right? Around the same time.
I would say her and Raquel kind of inspired me to start looking at it. And then when I started trading with her more and more, we would trade news events and stuff like that. I really started to get that, taste of like, oh shit, this thing moves. Like I feel ready to do this because I have the intuition with my other pairs. I feel ready to jump over to this. And at first I didn't like it, just like any other, change that happens in your life. You're not going to like it at first all the time. It's going to be uncomfortable. And then it starts to get more and more comfortable for you. Just like upping your risk, just like starting a new pair, a new session, all that stuff. Change is uncomfortable sometimes, but it gets better.
Yeah.
So this is what we were talking about on GJ. You could have very well taken this sell right over here, but again, you do have this support. This is what I was talking about. I think it was the 30-minute. No, the 1 hour. No, it was the 30-minute. Where the 30-minute was giving us all these clues. Gave us 4 clues. No bottom wick. Obviously supports are 5 clues. You got that support, kind of like a doji candle, but like a much weaker bearish candle. We'll call it that, bouncing off that area. Then this candle closes a doji, holds that support as well. And then this candle in the first like minute or two created a top wick, but it started passing the low of that candle. So that's where a lot of people get trapped. That's why I was saying you probably want to hold out on something like that. I could see it playing out just because of the volume we've had, but at the same time, like for you guys, I would really just stay out of that for now instead of trying to execute on an impulse entry right here. If you didn't have this level right here, I'd be like, yeah, you could put your stop loss up here. We should be able to continue down, but that's a 1 hour support. That's a 1 hour support right there. And look what happened last time we bounced off that area. Pretty hard move, right? So be careful.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any questions? Again, we're going to be live again today at 1 p.m. for our back testing. But do we have any questions about our pairs here? Ooh, gold is actually starting to break down here.
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
There you go. That's something that you want to look at. Again, wait for that close below. Check all time frames. Check the price. This is 1950. Psychological level. You got 1958 up top here. So just wait for these levels to break. Wait for that close below. At least wait for the top wick rejection to take this thing down. But you need a strong close. Also, keep in mind that the 4 hour, you're getting within 15 minutes before the 4 hour candle closes, right? And if it closes above that level, this could very well end up being a rejection, holding support, and then we continue back up to create a new high. I forget who told me they have certain rules before. Oh, it was this kid that's coming in from the northern part of Cyprus, potentially in the next month if he gets his job. But he was telling me that he has these rules where he's not going to trade, I want to say 5 minutes before the 30-minute closes, not going to trade 10 minutes before the 1 hour closes, and he doesn't trade 15 minutes before the 4 hour closes, which makes sense to me. I like that. All right, guys, any questions?
No, it's all clear. Thanks. It's good to
Awesome.
be able to watch the news, watch that trade you made. It's,
Absolutely.
helpful.
Journal that, Charlie. You'll be getting
Yeah.
that in the next couple of months. It's
Yeah, man.
again, compound effect. You start working on that now and downloading your brain with it and your eyes, you're gonna start executing on it.
Cool, man. Thanks a
I
lot.
can't see you though. You're dim.
I know it's the lighting in this camera. I've got to,
You're good. There's
yeah.
a Sebastian
Yeah.
Maniscalco skit. He's a comedian in the US, and he makes fun of people for having like these like climate friendly lights, like LED lights or something like that, and how like they don't give off much light at all. He's like, I can't see you. You're dim. You are dim. I can't see you.
I'll get a non-climate friendly light for my face.
Yeah. I kind of want to stay on here for the 15 minutes of close though. See if you guys could grab something. So again, we'll be closing below our more recent support right over here, right? But you got to worry about this area. This is your main area on the higher time frames. But getting a nice push over here. I'll wait for the 15 to close, and if it closes above that level, then we'll gotta be more cautious. So this is good, right? Look at that. So don't get too much FOMO over this. What you want to do is wait for the low to be created so then you can have a range. Or not only that, but just like a clean close below that area. That way you could get this healthy retest, and you're going to get a healthy retest based on the fact that the 4 hour needs to create a top wick if it's going to drop. But wait for something like that, and you know this will be your first TP coming right into this area. There we go. 15 close right there at that area. Check the higher time frames. What you really want is this 4-hour candle closing below that area. Let me see. Hold on. Actually, be careful of this. This is more like the range right there because you got these candles to the left that you got to encompass as well. And you can end up holding a support. I just don't want to see you guys getting caught. You can end up holding a support anywhere in that area. So if you get a nice clean close below that area, I could see this thing continuing down. To the daily again. Daily candle is flipping bearish after passing the high of that candle. Right, so that's another clue that we could be coming down here. 1 hour as well. It's looking nice. I honestly think it'd be a little risky being that like the 4 hour is closing soon, but I could see it happening. But I could see like if this candle flips bearish and passes the low, a stop loss all the way up here to continue down. You get the 1-to-1 right there. You have plenty of area for you to manage risk, and you should always be setting your stop loss based on percentage. So if you risk 1% up here or down here or up here, it should still be the same amount of risk. Make sense? But you're getting volume into the market right now, so just be careful with that. I'll let you know if I end up taking that trade. Obviously, I already grabbed what's it called, GJ today, so I don't know if that's something that I want to risk on, but I have one more trade that I could take, so maybe I will. But I'll let you guys know. All right, guys. I'll see you at 1
Real
p.m.
good. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
See you
Absolutely,
later.
boys. See you at 1.
Then
Good.